Hello wedding photographers out there. In this video, we're going to show you how you can make your brides and grooms look their very best in their dancing shot.
And for those of you who don't know us already, my name is Joel and this is Clara. And we are professional dance teachers that have been teaching couples from around the world for over past 15 years with super success. They're having fun on the dance floor and best of all, they're looking great in their photos.
So stay tuned. We're going to show you 4 of the most common dance poses that people use out there. The underarm turn, the lean, the lift, and the dip.
All right, and for those of you who love this content, please make sure you like, subscribe, and support the channel. And for those photographers out there, make sure you share this with your clients so that they're ready for their wedding shoot with you.
And for you wedding couples who are watching this video, if you're interested in working directly with us, getting one-on-one feedback, stay to the end and we'll show you how to apply for our online course.
So let's get ourselves started.
The first move we're going to show you is an underarm turn. More specifically, we're going to show you an outside stationary turn.
All right, let's take a look and see what that is. Here we're dancing and outside stationary underarm turn. Good job, Clara.
Yeah.
All right, so the first thing that we want to be really clear about for you guys as photographers, as well as you couples out there, is that the gentleman should be raising his left hand and not his right hand. And the reason for this is quite simple. Our dance hold, or our formal dance hold, should have the lead's left hand and the follow's right hand up, and not the other way around.
This would be incorrect.
Which we see so much of out there, whether it's on Instagram or on videos. We go, what in the world's going on there? So gentlemen, leads, make sure that your left hand is up and follows your right hand.
And notice that we do not have our fingers interlaced. We actually have them kind of more just comfortably in a dance hold where the man's left hand is underneath and the lady's right is on top.
And the main reason for this is because if we interlace our fingers, it's going to be very difficult to try to do any sort of moves with any sort of underarm turns, separations, spins, dips, whatever it may be. So to look like you know what you're doing on the dance floor, make sure that you have that left hand, gentlemen, open and not interlaced with your lady's fingers.
It'll be so much more comfortable for the turn coming up.
All right. Next tip that we have for you guys is that when we're now bringing these hands up, yes, we raise them, but not like the Statue of Liberty. Or like
we see this so much in all the photos out there.
Trying to dunk a basketball or spike a volleyball. So what we always suggest for all of our couples whenever we're teaching them is we just want to barely get over the lady's head.
And then that way it's not so stretched out, and also sometimes if it's too stretched out, it blocks the face. So make sure that your elbows are actually picked up and outward, picked up and outward so that it nicely frames the face as the lady does her underarm turn.
Exactly. If we have the arms too straight or that elbows are inwards, it's going to look like this. There. And then now all of a sudden we can't really see Clara's lovely face. So if she now picks up the elbow, whoop, there we go. Great picture.
Much better.
Awesome. Nice. Good. And our final tip for you guys is to do this always in motion. The natural idea of dancing is to be moving about, and although the photography is going to be a still shot, it should be of movement, and it's always going to look so much better than to place yourself in position, hold yourself there, and then go, let's take the picture.
And the natural joy that we get out of dancing will show through the faces as well. So you'll get a true natural expression, which will be best for your shots.
Our second dance move that we want to talk to you about is the lean. So let's get ourselves started and just show what that would look like if we dance into it. Go. Hello. All right, now to keep things simple for you guys, what we're going to do is give you a little bit of a jump start and a little bit of a quicker way of getting into it and not having to worry about the actual rolling in action, okay? So first thing that we want you to do is have the ladies hug themselves.
Hug. So I'm gonna take my left hand underneath and the right hand on top.
All right, gentlemen, you're going to just cozy up right beside your lovely partner. And with your right hand, you're going to take your partner's left hand.
So if we just show that a little bit.
Hello.
There we go. So his hand is underneath and my hand is on top.
Perfect. From here, gentlemen, leads, you're gonna take your left hand and place it on your partner's left shoulder. And that's just gonna be for a little bit of stability.
Yeah. And ladies, you can continue to hug yourself, or you can also just put your hand on his as well. That's an option.
Okay, we're gonna go through a mini lean just to show, and we're gonna talk about a few things as we do it, okay? So the first thing, gentlemen, you're gonna be taking your left foot to the side, okay? We don't wanna go too much forwards or backwards because that's not the plane of movement that the lean is happening. Yeah, if you go in those different planes, balance is gonna be weird and the shot's gonna go all wonky.
You might slip off, which we don't have.
Definitely. So gentlemen, nice and to the left, and we can just have that little lean, okay? Good.
Yeah.
The second thing that we want you guys to have an awareness of is body contact, okay?
Definitely.
Yeah, so at the beginning of this, make sure that we already have quite a bit of body contact.
Yeah, you can see there's no space between our hips and our upper leg.
As well as my chest and Clara's shoulder, okay? So we wanna make sure that that is maintained the whole time. A lot of times with couples, they'll go into that lean, and then maybe the gentleman will then bring his hips down. Yeah, and if you notice now there's a gap right there.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as stable and secure for me at all.
Exactly.
Alternatively, sometimes the ladies do that themselves. They go like this because they're like, oh no, I don't want to, I'm just going to lean through my shoulders. Not a good idea either. Yeah. So ladies, you want to make sure that you're perfectly straight, that you're like a plank, all right? And so that you maintain that contact the whole time. So if he's going down, also going down with the hip, also going down the same with the shoulder, I'm still a straight line.
Exactly, perfect. Yeah, in terms of now how much we want to go, that will depend on, gentlemen, your strength of your leg and your sense of security. Yeah, as you take a bigger step to the side, the lean will go further down. But it's not always bigger is better. It's more like natural is better. So as we go, I feel natural about here, and we get ourselves up, and then we're good with that.
Yeah, and ladies, you want to keep your core, because if you're all like jelly-like, then you're not going to be able to be very stable against him.
Exactly. One of the big things that whenever our students learn this within our program, they always ask about the ladies' feet and what they do specifically with that.
Yeah, so your weight should be on your left foot, and so you feel free to pick up your right, because if your weight's on your left and you're leaning, then you can always pick up your right. I like to bend it a little bit there and just have the foot a little bit lower than the knee. And it looks quite nice and stylish.
Yeah, exactly. And one more thing, just like in our tip number 1, or actually in our underarm turn tips, is to do this in motion. All right, so although we are stopping and talking and kind of demonstrating for you guys a little bit, it is always much better to go in, and then go back out. And even if you add a little bit of sound effects, it just makes the move more natural, and the emotion is more clear and more natural.
And like I said in the last one as well, it gives you a natural reaction, because it is a little bit of like a whoa feeling.
Yeah.
And so that just brightens up your face. So for move number 3, we've chosen one of the easiest, one of the simplest lifts out there.
Let's see what it looks like. All right. Up we go. And down we go. All right. So what did we just do there? Gentleman leads. I lifted Clara from behind her legs. One of the main problems that we see is that a lot of gentlemen will grab just at the bum level. Yeah, so maybe you want to grab your partner's bum, but it's not so helpful in this case. Yeah, and so gentlemen, if I just turn Clara behind, I'm going to be just grabbing right underneath her bum and at her hamstrings. Yeah, and the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my dominant hand around, and then my non-dominant hand, and I'm going to then clasp the wrist. Okay, then I can squeeze in, and then I've got a good grip onto Clara.
And notice as well how Joel uses proper body mechanics and really squats down to pick up, because you do not want to be bending over and using your back and hurting yourself.
Yes, definitely. So if we take it from this angle, it's going to look like this. I'm going to come down into my squat position. I'm going to clasp my left hand around my right wrist. Then I hug Clara in and I stand up with my legs. Yeah?
Yay! No backs being hurt.
No, definitely not.
And ladies, as you feel the man coming towards you and lifting, you can just place your arms around the gentleman's neck, a little bit more on the shoulders, on the clavicle here, so that it's not strangling him. Yeah, and I like to just place one hand over the other.
So if you look at that again, zoom, There. Up we go. You can see Clara's hands. And they're not strangling me either.
No. Yeah. And then as well, just to style it a little more, I also like to pick up one foot. So it doesn't matter which foot, but I like to pick up one of the feet and just make sure that when you're picking up that foot, that the knees are together. Yeah. So you don't want to be picking up one foot and one knees out. Kind of
We're not riding a horse.
But also then styling the foot so that you point it. So this doesn't look as great, and I've seen that before. It just cuts the line of the leg, so you want to make sure your leg looks as long as possible, so point that toe.
The last thing is, whether you are comfortable with that, then you can add a turn to it. If you're not so comfortable with it and just want to go up and come back down, that's fine. But again, gentlemen, we're going to do the same thing. Make sure that you use proper mechanics of bringing your bum down, bending at the knees, bending at the hips. If you're used to doing squats in the gym, it's going to be very, very, very similar. We're going to get ourselves to come up, and then I want you to just walk on the spot and turn. Yeah? Do.
And ladies, looking down at your gentleman. And then coming down.
All right. Yeah. There you go. Have fun with it, but be safe with it as well. And for our fourth tip of this video, we're going to go over the dip. It's one of those quintessential dance moves, and it's something that we tell all of our students to do at the end of their wedding dance.
Yeah, makes for a great photo.
Exactly. So Claire and I are going to go ahead and dance into this, and then we're going to show you the actual dip. Yeah. And then, ta-da! All right, so now that we know kind of what we're trying to get to, let's talk about a few tips that you couples can do as well as photographers when you're trying to make the magic happen in front of the lens.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing that we'd like is, gentlemen or leads, you're going to just face the photographer. You're going to face your audience.
Yeah, okay. So we're not going to explain it from the turn, but just how to get into it without dancing it.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping it simple. Okay?
Yeah.
And then ladies, you're just going to walk in and you're going to park yourself kind of diagonally in front. But if you notice, Clara is perpendicular to Joel. Yeah, so we're at right angles.
Yeah, and my right leg or hip is touching Joel's left.
Okay. From there, what we're going to do is, gentlemen, you're just going to hug your partner. Right hand's going to come across her waist to her far hip, and that left hand is going to go right in the middle of her back.
And ladies, we're going to hug our partner as well. I'm taking my right hand behind Joel here and putting it around his waist. And left hand can just rest on the shoulder or the bicep.
Okay, we're just going to turn ourselves around just so that you see where Clara's hand is. So if you notice now, leads, my hand is actually above Clara's right hand, okay? And then I put my placement of my hand on her back, and Clara's underneath my arm, and she hugs my waist there. All right? Good. I'm back in this orientation. All right, from here, just like the lean, what we're going to have the leads do is take a left foot side lunge. Yeah, and we're going to just do a small baby one just to begin with here. We're going to go to the side, zoom, and then we're going to get ourselves back up. Yeah, good. And if you notice, with what Claire is doing, she is taking a little small step going backwards.
A little tiny step. Yeah, just to support some of my own weight. Yeah, this is important for people who have not so much of a difference in their body weight. But if you have like a really, really tiny girl and a really big buff
beefy guy,
then
which I am not,
then you don't have to take a step. You can actually just keep your feet planted. Yeah, so it depends on the body weight ratio.
Yeah, let's just demonstrate what that would look like if Clara keeps her feet planted. Okay, so we're gonna go into that, and Clara keeps her feet planted, and then we get ourselves back out.
Yeah. Joel's taking a lot more of my body weight in that instance, which he's okay with if we do it just a couple times.
Speaking of body weight, leads, what we want to be able to do is, again, just like in the lift, just like in the lean, we want to take the body weight with our legs, not our arms or our back, okay? And so one of the ways that you should do that is make sure that you hug your partner in nice and tight. We don't want to, if we look at it from this angle, to be super far away. So if you notice, there's a gap between Clara and myself. Yeah. If we now go into a dip, I am carrying Clara's weight with my arms. And that's gonna be a lot more difficult, and it's not gonna look as nice because I'm gonna be struggling in front of the camera.
Yeah, and if you saw in move number 2, the lean, we were also talking about getting contact right with the hips, right with the legs, so that we feel safe and secure.
Exactly. So make sure that we got that going. Yeah. One more thing in terms of just with leads and with your lunge now is that when you take that lunge step, yeah, we want to make sure that your body is actually a little bit more vertical. If you remember in the lean tips, we had you a little bit more tipped over and had that really straight body line so that the lady has that support. But because the lady's over here, we would rather have you be more stationary and more stable versus tipping over.
Yes,
okay?
So make sure your pelvis is in neutral. Yeah, this is not neutral. This is more neutral, all right? So that will have a nice stable platform where both of our centers of gravity can combine together and have a nice dip.
Now, once you start to get more comfortable with all of these baby dips, you can make the dip further and further down. And the way that we do that is not by bending over more and more, but by taking a bigger side step. So I'm gonna demonstrate that now, okay? We're in a good position. We've got ourselves hugged in. Body connection is good. Joel's going to take a much wider step to the side, and then we get ourselves to come up. And if you notice, we got a lot more horizontal on that one just because my base was nice and wide.
When the base is wide like that, ladies, we need to make sure our core is engaged. If, again, I just talked about having your core loosey-goosey and all gummy, then it's not gonna go well. So you need to make sure that your core is engaged so that when you go down and when you come up, that you're actually like kind of doing a crunch to come up, and that'll help bring yourself up, not just rely solely on the gentleman.
Exactly. All of these tips, we want to make sure that you're doing them in proper technique. And the proper technique not only makes us dance teachers be more happy with your dancing, but you'll look more comfortable and you'll look better doing it. So knowing the technique actually helps overall with the look and the feel of the dance.
So wedding photographers, make sure you send this video to your clients so that they'll be super prepared for your photo session.
And for you wedding couples out there that are stressing or worried about your wedding dance, as well as worried about getting some good pictures for your engagement as well as your wedding photos, let's kill two birds with one stone and just learn how to dance.
Our proven system has taken total beginners who didn't know how to dance at all to becoming super confident on the dance floor and looking great in their wedding photos.
If you want to learn more about how we accomplish these wonderful feats of dance, check out the links in the description below where you can check out our free masterclass. We'll go over the strategy that we use in our natural dance method program, as well as a few tips and tricks to help you start dancing at home right now.
And if you just want to get started right away, well, book a call, we'll have a chat and see if we're a good fit.
The link is down in the description below as well. We look forward to talking to you directly.
If you'd like to see more of this kind of content, press the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below.
Thanks very much for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.